Ladies and gentlemen, I am the next gem of great British wrestling ring announcing, Adam Blackburn, and you are listening to the new Great British podcast, Submit Wrestling Cards, with your hosts, Jack and Kev.
Welcome to episode number 2 of the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast. My name is Jack, and with my wondrous co-host, introduce yourself.
Kevin Williams. Thank you, Jack, the quintessential stud muffin that you are. Can you believe it? We've made it to episode 2. They haven't kicked us off there yet.
Yeah, episode number 2. I think, episode number 1, certainly we've aimed at being the intro, and this is going to be kind of the format that we're going to want to do the following shows with. And again, we will change things, we'll swap things around, but I think for us, we've been fortunate. We've always had a vision as to how we wanted to do the shows, and this is kind of going to be it, isn't it? So
great support from Twitter and Facebook for the poll. So Legion of Doom or Road Warriors for that I've won, which is quite amazing. Thank you everyone for getting involved, voting and following Submit Wrestling Cards.
Yeah, absolutely. So the poll we submitted, we had 3 options. So we went for Jake the Snake, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, or Legion of Doom. And Legion of Doom have topped the polls for us to discuss for this week, for this episode. I think originally we thought it would be Jake that would win the poll. I think
100%. He's solid singles wrestler. I mean, Hacksaw's no mug, but there's so much to talk about with Jake the Snake as well, isn't there? So, but Legion of Doom, they won the match, and let's chat about LOD. Legion of Doom.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to go through. We've got a few little bits for what we're going to do. So we're going to do a little bit of history for Legion of Doom. So for those who aren't too familiar, I mean, how could you not be if you're listening to this? But for those, you may know anything about the history of Legion of Doom. And we're going to go through some of the cards, some of the matches, and things like that. But before we go into any of that, I think one of the things that we need to talk about and we need to discuss. There was a recent announcement, shall I say, made.
Are you talking about in America? In America?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, in America.
Only in America, brother. Only in America.
Only in America. I originally read it on Twitter, and it was from David Peck, and he had stated that Ric Flair has announced that he will no longer be signing his 82 All-Stars rookie card. And I don't know how long after, probably a week, maybe 2 weeks after that announcement, The Undertaker made the same announcement that he would no longer be signing his rookie card, which has been widely accepted as the 91.
91, yeah.
91, white border Taker card where he stood at the table and he's got the candles and the sort of buffet thing going on, like the Gothic buffet.
Yeah.
I think they've both announced this, and there's both a little bit of collusion between each other to some extent, maybe through their managers, through their management or agents.
Fitterman Sports, yeah.
Yes,
Fitterman Sports.
Yeah. So I think it's probably a very good point for us to just have a quick discussion about this, to kind of put our opinions on this and whether we think this is going to be a systemic thing that's going to spread through the rest of the wrestling industry. What are your thoughts, Kev? What do you think? They're not going to be signing the rookie cards?
I first heard about it because people were going into conventions, whatever, to get things signed, and you'd have traders literally lining up to sign 20 Undertaker rookie cards, Ric Flair. Then as he's signing them, getting a video out to YouTube, Twitter, whatever, saying, "Oh, here's your signed Undertaker card," and it's a bit naughty, really. I understand that the promoters have got a bit annoyed, but to stop it completely, just turn around and say one per person. It's not hard, is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this has come from, is there have been resellers that were queuing up to get these cards signed and flipping them within the same
minutes.
day.
Yeah, within minutes.
Yeah, for they're paying maybe $100. I think Flair was $80 and Taker was $100 and something for a signature.
It's big money anyway. You're paying the price. Yeah. Sign the card. It's and they're making probably $200 or $300 per card to then sell it on. So for them, it's a great business idea. But the other point that kind of I really understand why they're doing it, and what you've said is exactly right. They should just limit it to one per customer. When these stars do these autograph sessions, they haven't got an infinite amount of time that day to sign items. Of course, the laws of physics doesn't demand that they can be there for an infinite amount of time. So they may only have, let's say, and I'm going to pick an arbitrary number here, they may only have 1,000 slots. And if somebody attends with 10 or 15 or 20 items to be signed that they're going to go and resell, that's 10 or 15 or 20 other collectors that aren't going to have the opportunity to get their things signed because A, they may have missed the boat, or they just haven't had the time to sign up to register. So it does take away from the collectors and the people that truly do cherish going to meet these people. It does take their opportunity away. Yeah, the touch of magic, isn't
it? That's never good.
Yeah, it's a touch of magic that you're going to miss. So for me, I love signing goodies like wrestling, football, whatever. But to meet someone in person to get it signed, that's a whole new ball game, isn't it? And that's what it's about, really.
Yeah.
My worry, I don't know about you, Jack, is will it go on to other wrestlers, and maybe, who knows, a few years down the line they'll stop signing wrestling figures to a degree or other merchandise? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Flair and a few other wrestlers have been known to openly advertise charging more for signing figures than they have signing other items or signing belts. I know some of them have charged more for that particular service, let's say. Not that it's more of a service from them. They're still signing something. It doesn't change their life at all. I do fear that other wrestlers will pick this up. And a question here, actually, to the people, to the people listening, and to the audiences that are, thankfully and wonderfully tuning in to listen to us ramble on about bits of paper. Does this happen, or has this happened in other sports or in other merchandise? I don't know if other footballers have done this or other sports stars have done this. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
The closest I remember was Warrior with the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD. That I understand, because it was derogative to his name and everything else. But football, I've never heard of it. And Jim Cornette on his podcast was saying it's such an honor to sign an autograph after any wrestling show. So some wrestlers are out there saying, but we should be honored to be signing people's goodies, and somewhere I think it depends who your agent is, isn't it?
Well, this is, and that's you've I think, and I hope you've hit the nail on the head. Both Flair and Taker use the Fitterman's Sport group to run their autograph sessions, and they do a very, very wide range of sports stars across all different sports. And I wonder if this is something that they're going to try and creep into a lot of their
names,
names that they have on their books. I don't know if it's something that's going to spread that way. I genuinely don't know. But fingers crossed.
No, not.
Just with Flair and Taker. Well, fingers crossed they see the light and say one per customer, and we're problem solved. But
everyone's happy. Yeah, exactly. That, isn't it?
So Yeah, just wanted to kind of get that out there to people that weren't aware of it. It naturally will drive the prices up for those rookie cards that have autographs with them. And naturally, the rookie cards themselves for Flair and Taker will probably go up a little bit more in price as well because of that announcement. And it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago they said that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not good. Not good.
Right.
We don't need that.
No, not at all. No, it's not nice, but yeah, hey, it's their decision. We can't really we can't stop them from making that decision. We can just moan about it. Is what we're doing here.
Yeah, we're good at that. We're British.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to the poll winners then. So LOD, Legion of Doom, were picked, and I think first of all, as a great introduction, I think it's going to be worthwhile giving a little bit of a brief history with Kev. We may just label this particular section.
We need classical music to go out. History with Kev.
Yeah. I'll see if I can put something together for you, and you can just weave it into the edit.
That'll do.
History with Kev.
With Kev, yes. And afterwards, painting with Jack.
Yeah.
We're going off topic now.
That's it. Yeah, let's bring it back. So, Kev, tell them, Kev, go for it. Legion of Doom. Floor is yours.
Well, tell them, Hawk. Yeah, so Legion of Doom debuted in 1983, had a 20-year run as being probably the most legendary tag team you will ever meet. Took them a few years to get going, known as the Road Warriors. What's the difference with the Road Warriors and Legion of Doom? I think it's Vince McMahon, really. When they signed up for WWF, they had Ultimate Warrior, the Modern Day Warrior, too many warriors, so they went with Legion of Doom. Then it was about 1985, they started out really with Georgia Championship Wrestling, AWA, then over to Japan, come back to NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, and eventually they would land back in the WWF in 1990. So surprisingly, Legion of Doom only had 2-year spell with the WWF from 1990 to 92. Who were the great tag teams who went up against? Nasty Boys, Demolition, Money Inc., and Power and Glory. So big shout out to them. Big shout out to the good guy tag teams at the time, the Rockers, Bushwhackers, and the Hart Foundation. And one of their most memorable moments for me came obviously SummerSlam 92 when they rode out on the motorbikes, wasn't it, at Wembley Stadium with the puppet Rocco. So Hawk went AWOL after that, and I believe Animal had some injuries, so they had little stints over in Japan on the indie circuit. It was 96 that we've seen them reappear in WCW. Then what would it be, like a year later, 97? I'd class it as their real final run. And they took on the Attitude Era and really progressed WWF forward until about 98. Then it all went Pete Tong, or wrong, as some of you know. They bizarrely had Sonny as a manager, and later on Droz would step in with Legion of Doom 2000. That wasn't quite for me. I don't know about you guys. How do you feel? Were you a big fan? And you know what? We're talking about a legendary tag team. It didn't quite work for me, but still, the name went on. And again, 99, they were gone. Until 2002, where they hit the indie circuit, Japan again. Even had a little go in TNA wrestling. And sadly, it all came to an end. Well, they had one last run in WWE in 2003, and that was on the 12th of May. And unfortunately, Hawk would pass away a few months later in the October. Then you'd say that's everything done, but it's 2005, LOD 2005 of Heinenreich, sorry. I even get his name wrong, you know. That was pretty damn awful. But yeah, Animal and Hawk, absolutely incredible, iconic, Fable. There's no one bigger in the tag team world than the Legion of Doom. And that is history with Kev. Over to you, Jack. I'm going home.
Yeah, I mean, there really is. There is so much history with not just what they brought on screen. They revolutionized in many ways the look of a wrestler. The
fear guy. Yeah,
the theatrics of wrestling, and I think if you
very much
absolutely, if you look at some of their earlier pictures, before the pads with the spikes had been built by them, I think Hawk had built them himself. Before they created those, it does look quite comical, some of the pictures that they had and how they were trying to find their look. But when they found that look, it absolutely just blew people's minds.
Is there any tag team that comes close to Legion of Doom for you, Jack? Or
no, there's been plenty that have tried to copy.
Yeah,
I mean, you could say that Demolition tried to copy that kind of look, and Demolition are a good tag team. They've got a good history behind them, but
brilliant.
You're not going to be able to get to the same heights as Legion of Doom, and I think as well, this is where people got a little bit, their nose got put out a little bit with LOD 2000 and Droz coming in, and that was handled very badly. I don't think anyone would ever come and look at that and say that was dealt with correctly.
The Attitude Era, though, anything happened then.
Well, I mean, there was an episode of Dark Side of the Ring which focused specifically on Legion of Doom, and if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's a brilliant episode, and it does again highlight how upset Animal was with Hawk trying to portray that alcoholic on screen. Very, very difficult, very bad decision, insanely bad decision, and of course it kind of didn't really work out at all. But I think as well, and it's something that goes under the radar quite a lot. Legion of Doom were one of the few wrestling acts that had the same manager both on and off the screen. It's the same
Precious
person.
Paul Ellering,
for the almost entirety of their career. And I think an awful lot of what LOD had achieved is down to what Paul was able to kind of discuss and do with them. Very, very good in what he was able to sort of present and promote about Legion of Doom. And you mentioned there as well, they went through an awful lot of different wrestling organizations, a lot of different places. And that again was down to Paul.
Yeah, not many tag teams stick together for 20 years. I know they had the little breaks, but 20 years, it's like, wow, come on. Nasty Boys did throw in that category. Bushwhackers, but we're going back again, aren't we? So none of the modern guys, who am I thinking of? The guys in AEW, Matt and Jack, I forget the names already. It'll come to me shortly. Yeah. So, anyway. So what's your favourite match, Jack? Any favourites from Legion of Doom?
Well, a complete nostalgia trip for me here, and I mentioned it on the episode last as well about wrestling tapes holding more nostalgia for people than I think they realise. There is a Superstars of Wrestling tape which has Legion of Doom on the front, which was one of the first tapes I ever owned. And there is a 6-man tag match on there, which is, and I mean, this is a great match. Talk about heel versus babyface. It was Legion of Doom and British Bulldog versus Power and Glory and Warlord. I mean, Warlord, it's like the ultimate babyface versus heel match. And even now, I still remember. I mean, I probably haven't watched the match for a few years, but I still remember the pop that Bulldog got from coming out down to the ring. And I remember Power and Glory with the chains and Warlord with his get up. And it's an okay match. It's not hugely technical, but it wasn't going to be with those 6, was it?
It got you on your feet, though. It got you watching it. It's like, oh, what's going on next? It's like load of big guys just smashing hell out of each other. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, and again, it's the nostalgia, isn't it? That was for me what I loved. Yeah. But Kev, from your side, you had Sky when you were little, so you probably saw a lot more than I did.
Well, funnily enough, it's about 92 I got Sky, then Legion of Doom were gone. Obviously, you've seen the run up to SummerSlam, and it's like, what? Where's Legion of Doom gone? We got Beverly Brothers instead. This isn't right.
Wow.
I do like one of their matches, Natural Disasters, Legion of Doom at Royal Rumble 92. It's not the best ever match, but it's like, I get that, watch it again because it's pretty impressive. And the tag team I was thinking of, sorry everyone, was the Young Bucks. They're quite a long stay in today's wrestling, but hopefully they do 20 years like Legion of Doom. That'll be quite impressive.
I don't know if it's harder or easier for especially for tag teams to have that longevity now, as opposed to in the 80s. Something that Paul has mentioned quite a lot was trying to keep Legion of Doom fresh, and to do that was to keep them moving around the organizations and moving around different countries. And I wonder now whether or not for modern tag teams, is that too difficult to do, because you've only really got
the internet,
3 or 4 major players that they can sort of perform for, haven't they? So
you can watch anything on the internet as well, any wrestling match you want, and follow any organization for that too. So quite impressive with LOD. And well, what we're here to do, Jack, favorite wrestling cards. Have you got any favorite LOD cards? Right.
Well,
dig deep, have a think.
So I think for me, when I realised that the LOD was going to win this poll, I hadn't quite prepared, because I was so sure Jake was going to win. So I did have a little dig around my cards and have a look and see what's there. And surprisingly, a card that I don't even own, that I have since found that was for sale on eBay, someone's now bought it. There was only one. Someone's bought it already. I'll share my screen, so for those on YouTube you'll be able to see it, but I will describe it for people that are listening in on the podcast. So the card that I'm going to show you here, if you are watching on YouTube,
lovely.
So this is a 1988 NWA Wonderama card. So it's quite an old card, and you can see that by just sort of what Hawk and Animal, their face paint, it's quite an early rendition of their face paint. The reason why I fell in love with this card was
Dusty Rhodes.
Exactly. You've got Dusty Rhodes in the picture.
Yes.
Now, the good thing here is not a lot of people are aware that during the NWA run for Legion of Doom, they were not only the tag team champions as themselves, they were also the 3-man tag champions with Dusty Rhodes. Yeah. So this picture, this is a card. That's, if I show you the next image along, that's the back of the card.
It almost looks like a sticker, doesn't it? When you look at the front, it looks like something for a sticker album.
Yeah, it's a pretty rare picture. It's not a picture I've seen used anywhere else, and I always like cards like that. And I'll just read the back of the card for those that are listening in. So it's number 207 from the NWA Wonderama set, and the back of the card just reads, "The Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal are a vicious, aggressive team that wrestles like maniacs, but the fans love them with a cult-like determination."
Strong words.
It doesn't even mention that Dusty Rhodes is in there, is on the card. But as a card, I think that is absolutely amazing. And it's not a particularly expensive card. It might be after this show, but it was around $10, $12. But someone's already bought it, so I'm quite unhappy. So if anyone has this for sale in your collection, let me know. I'm quite happy to pay a little bit for it, because it is a great card. So that's my favourite Legion of Doom card.
You've got me hungry. Right, I don't know how to share the screen. Well, I do, Jack, but I'm just going to tell everyone, because it's more listeners than viewers. Remember that.
That's it.
So
Absolutely.
type in on your eBay machine WWE Superstars 1998 Legion of Doom. You'll find it, and it's card number 98. I'll post it up on our social media pages so you could both see. And you've got Animal, he's doing like a Hulk Hogan pose as such. And you've got Hawk in the background saying, like, come on, let's have some of this. Absolutely incredible. One of my favorite cards. And it's a bit of like a recent discovery, if I'm honest with you. And one thing I would change about it, hasn't got a side, like a frame to it, like we love wrestling cards with an outside, like a yellow background, but still a very nice card from an awesome set. It goes back to 1997 Raw. So that's my pick, Jack.
When was the picture taken? Yeah, I'm just having a look at it now. Yeah, that's a great card. That really is a great card. You've got Animal kind of leaning through the ropes and goading whoever he is. He's shouting at whoever's, I assume, walking back after a bit of a beating, or they're walking towards a beating. Could be one. But yeah, and I think this is something that we touched on a few times. I tend to prefer cards or stickers. Let's just we'll just keep them bundled together in that terminology. I tend to prefer ones where the picture they've used hasn't then just been copied onto loads of other sets. I get that annoys me when they kind of use the same promotional picture for other cards and stickers. If it's an individual's picture and they've been getting better at this over the years for doing this, then I do prefer to see them more. And this is a great example of that. And the same with the one that I've chosen. Great example. Yeah. It's a single picture of the time. It captures that moment rather than it being a promo picture.
Well, one thing I'm not a massive fan of with Legion of Doom cards is, say you'd have a shot of Hawk, single card. Then you get a shot of Animal. I like to see a tag team together in a wrestling card or a wrestling sticker. So that one gets my mention. Sought after cards. Is there anything that you've noticed out there, Jack? Is there anything you're looking for?
So going back on my previous point that I just made nearly 10 seconds ago and completely tearing up exactly what I've just said. There is a 1991 Swanson card, which beautiful. Is a Hawk and Animal kind of in that very, very famous pose where one is stood over the other and they're kind of arching over each other. That picture was used everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Especially in 91. 91 WF is anything.
I think they used it for promotional posters. I believe there was a game on one of the older Amstrads, I think it was, or Spectrum, that used that picture on the front. The videotape I've just mentioned, they used it. I think it's the same picture. But the reason why, for me, that card is so sought after is that I just think the framing that the Swanson card had, with the black framing, with it's kind of got a yellowish kind of line around it as well. I just think it's framed really, really well. And it is if you're talking about Legion of Doom cards, that card will be for me, the epitome of their character, their image. That's what they were. That goes completely against what I just said.
Well, the entire Swanson set is phenomenal. Was it like a Canadian exclusive, I believe? Something I don't remember of here. Well,
there was only about 20 or so cards. There weren't many of the Swanson ones. There's not many at all. So
there is a Rockers one I like. Rockers from the same era of that card set. Again, throw it in eBay. You'll see it. WWF Swanson. That's all you need to put in.
In the UK and Europe, we didn't see them. We didn't have them here. They weren't released here. They had to be brought over from Canada or from the States. So they do hold a higher price here. They're difficult to get. It's like the ice cream cards. They never came out here. We don't have them here.
It's strange, isn't it? How we got some and they never got some of ours, and but I think that's what makes collecting good now, because you could search abroad and I've never seen that before. Need to add that one to the collection. It's only £3. plus 25 quid postage and import fees. So.
This going out to our American friends. We've got a bit of a problem here in the UK at the moment because we're getting charged nearly a 40% tax increase on customs. And it's painful. You can pay £20 for an item, £15 for shipping, and then you'll pay maybe £18 on tax for customs on top. It's horrible.
That's good.
But I think we've mentioned quite a lot of the older cards. Let's have a look at some modern stuff. Maybe there's some modern cards that are slightly better.
There is the Slam Attacks in the UK, Slam Attacks Rebellion. And Scott Crouch got in touch and he was mentioning about the Rumble Road Slam Attacks that he's spotted. I couldn't find one on eBay, so there isn't a great deal of modern Legion of Doom cards out there in all, if I'm honest with you.
No, and I wonder if that's that WWF tried to cancel Hawk for a little while, I think, in some areas, and they tried to kind of shut down the image of Legion of Doom for a while. Whether that's right or wrong, that's their decision. And I do get that impression that the level of, let's just say, merchandise for Legion of Doom did kind of taper off quite a lot. You don't see them appear in many modern cards. They'll get one or two iterations, but nothing.
Again, there, like you look at retro merchandise, you're always going to get Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warriors, massive Macho Man. There's even Jake the Snake, like T-shirts that you could pick up. Bret Hart. We're not seeing Legion of Doom, which is quite unfortunate, really, because I'd love a Legion of Doom T-shirt.
Yeah, I think I was having a look around some of the modern sets to see if I could find any Legion of Doom that I liked the look of. Now, there is only one, and it's not really even that modern. It's from 2010. Now, I'm going to share my screen again, but I will describe for the people listening in. I'm just going to share it really here to get Kev's reaction on it a bit more.
That's it.
So this is from 2010. And it is a WWE Wrestling Legends card, and it's number 107. Now, the reason why I've kind of pulled this card out, quite rare to see Legion of Doom in the black pads, black shoulder pads. They did do it a little bit, but iconic red is the color they would use. Yeah, and they were blue in WCW and kind of red in WWF. Don't see them too much in black. So I think for them to pick this as a picture to have in that card set is good. And you've got Hawk with his tongue out, which again was like a very famous pose, an animal with a very stern face. Both of them doing the very kind of almost like American football, like crouch stance. Again, I think this was something, again, that Paul Ellering had said when they were doing photos to try and mimic that kind of American football stance because of them wearing the American football pads.
And make yourself look big and tough as well, isn't it? You don't want to mess with someone in pads and spikes, even a helmet, So the card that you're on about here now, this 2010 Topps card, that must have been an American exclusive, would you say? Because something I've not seen over here in the UK.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen. I don't even know what set the packet is from. I don't know.
One thing I will say about that the card there would look incredible signed up in maybe a red or a gold. Unfortunately, that would never have happened due to Hawk's passing.
Yeah, I think I saw there is currently on eBay a Hawk signed Beckett's authenticated 8x10 promo picture. Wow. And that's currently £850. So that's probably about $950, nearly $1,000 US dollars. You don't see Hawk signatures hardly ever. I think the time where he wasn't wrestling, he was probably out drinking. So, I make a joke about it. Unfortunately, that was very likely.
He lived his life. He really did live his life, didn't he? And why not? we're only here twice, which is
absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So I've got for me written down here, Jack, the next thing, sought after cards. So that would fit in with rookie cards, and we're trying to avoid all that, I suppose, in a nice way. And signed cards. Anything out there that you noticed, or
rookie cards for Legion of Doom? They don't get talked about that much. They don't get. No. They don't really. I don't really see them displayed for sale very often. And I think the reason for that is there is a little bit of ambiguity over what is actually their rookie card. And I think this comes from potentially some of their stints in Japan.
So there'll be stuff out there too, like Hogan in his 82 ordeal, isn't it? So again, with Hogan though, maybe it might not be his rookie card, but he's always got a go-to card, and there's not really a go-to card for Legion of Doom. It might not be the rookie, but so I just
think their most popular card was probably the 91 blue border. That's probably their most popular card. But that's certainly not a rookie. Certainly not years off.
With doing a bit of research online, I've got a little bit of a list. I've got the AWA 1985 Major League Wrestling card, and that was a promotion. So it fits in 1983. They debut, I think it's in the June, so 18 months later. They've got a card, and there's a WMMC World Warriors Prison Wrestling sticker, which I seriously recommend you check that one out. It is basically like a Prism card of today, but from 1985. It looks incredible. Then coming later, 1986, Monty Gum Wrestling card number 68. There's all three, Ellerin, Animal, and Hawk. Then you go, well, you've mentioned it now, is the NWA Wonder Armor set, which got some incredible wrestlers in that one. A few more mentions, I will say, away from WWE and WCW, is a BBM Japanese wrestling cards. They're definitely worth a look out, and I think they're quite hard to pick up, really. I know I haven't got...
They are.
Yeah. So that, well, I call it the rookie column. So for me, I'd love to own all them. I don't, obviously not. If I was to pick one up, I'd have to go for the NWA Wonder Armor, the one that you show with Dusty Rhodes. It's pretty special.
It's a great slice of history, and the card itself was only $12 the other day until someone rudely purchased it from underneath my watch list. So if that's you, thanks. Not cool.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I wish.
I think there's probably about 4 or 5 of Legion of Doom in that set, isn't there? There's pictures of them on their own. I know that much.
Yeah, there's a huge number in that set. I think it's close to 300. I think.
So yeah, it's big. It's a big set. Yeah, very very difficult to complete that one. But it's. I think you can look at the trajectory of Legion of Doom's popularity, and you can see once they've reached that early 90s in WWF, they were absolutely at their peak, and the fan base couldn't get enough of them. And the cards, again, we talk about ratings last episode, and ratings going up and merchandise and cards sort of becoming more and more prevalent. Yeah, the same thing happened with Legion of Doom. I mean, even to the point, do you remember the foam shoulder pads you could get with with the spikes on?
Something I always wanted. You used to see them in like the catalogs and stuff. And it's like, what? They need to do adult size ones of them. Really do.
If you think how many other wrestlers had, let's just call it like dress up merchandise. You had the Warrior Mask set. There was a Hogan one, Legion of Doom, and who else?
Macho Man, I think.
Yeah. So that just goes to show you how high they were on the bill for a lot of their popularity.
Definitely. Cosplay before it was cool. 100%. Them spikes, wow. Yeah, pretty iconic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like looking at, like I mentioned again there with the rookie cards, and it's like you could probably get the rarest rookie card or whatever you call it, go-to card of Legion of Doom, £100, would you say? £100, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But how can that one be £100 and a Hogan, I don't know, 4,000?
Yeah.
It's beyond me.
It's a difficult one to kind of break down because you're putting, Legion of Doom at some point for their career were on par with the big names.
Big boys, yeah.
But the prices of the cards, if maybe after this show, their prices will start going
millions.
up because
Absolutely,
people are going to start going, I can get a rookie card of Legion of Doom for that price. I'll buy 10 of them.
I think on top of that though, a signed card, signed by both, would eclipse all of the rookies for Legion of Doom, because as you say, Hawk, you don't see a Hawk autograph, and I don't even know if Animal signed many, to be honest with you. To get both would be like, wow.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot from Animal signatures, but I think I've only ever seen maybe a handful for Hawk.
Yeah. My question then to the listeners out there, do you have a signed Legion of Doom trading card or sticker?
Wow.
We'd love to see that one. That is a quest. Yeah. And if you want to donate it to us for a raffle prize, we'd love to take it. Honest to God. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think as a great segue there, talking about donations, we still have our competition active, but on the first episode, I missed one very vital and important rule off of the competition, which I will go to now, because quite frankly, the competition wasn't going to work unless I mention this particular rule. It was a rather silly one. On the Facebook page, every time you tag one of your friends into a post on the Facebook page, and you can tag multiple people, you will be entered twice into the list draw.
Boom.
So the more of your friends you tag on the Facebook page, say if you tag in 10 people, you're then going to get 20 entries.
Wow.
So I missed that important rule out. So now that rule is being enforced. So if you want extra entries into the competition yourself, and it's easier for me to do it from Facebook, Twitter's a little bit more difficult, but Facebook for the time being is what we're going to go with. Every friend you tag in a post on the page, on the Submit Wrestling Cards page, you will get entered into the draw twice, including your original entry and subsequent entries if you're then following Twitter as well. So there is an infinite amount that you can be entered into this draw. And just to give everyone here a quick rundown of the kind of stuff that we're going to be giving away, I've got a PSA graded 6 Macho Man Saturday Night WCW card. There is a DDP Hollow WCW card sticker that Kev is holding up. I've got all sorts. There's probably, I think I valued it to be around about 50 or 60 quid's worth of cards. We've got, that's a 2021 Superstars Hollow there that Kev's just holding up to the screen. There's a few other bits. There is, that's another one off the 2021. That's the Rock's subset, and another one from the Rock subset. I can't even remember what I've added into it now. There's loads. And there's going to be some sealed packs as well that Kev's going to throw in. There's a Kamala SummerSlam 92 card. There's a Beverly Brothers SummerSlam 92 card. I mean, Kev's just waving cards at the screen now, and I'm just listing them. It's a little bit of a game, this. It's like quick fire. I don't know. No, I don't know what that one is. I can't tell.
Karma.
That's too modern. Too modern.
Yeah, too modern. Karma.
I couldn't name it.
Yeah, too modern. We could always have too modern, can't we? Yeah, so we've always got wrestling cards going out. So thanks everyone for following on the Facebooks and the Twitters. Thank you very much. We can't believe that we actually hit about 80 listeners on our first episode, which is quite incredible. So please do the honors, share with your friends if you've got any. I know I struggle with things like that. And share, retweet on Twitter. Tell your mum about things on Facebook, and just get into them community groups and church religious groups. Submit wrestling cards. We're taking over.
Absolutely, and I think as well, don't be shy. The Twitter, the Facebook, these are open forums. If you have questions about cards, stickers, if you're not sure what set they're from, if you want to know more about how much you might want to buy some of these things for. The only thing that we're going to kind of ward against a little bit, to a certain extent, is people putting money into the hobby just to make money back out of it and not really care for the collectors. We're not really into doing that.
We're not
we're happy to appraise items and happy to kind of give you an idea of a price guide, but we're here for the hobby. We're not here for the money. But any questions 100%. You have, open forum, please send them through.
Shoot them across. Damn right. That's what
Absolutely.
It's about, isn't it? It gets us talking, doesn't it?
Of course. So in the next, go on then, Kev, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the next episode then, that's what I was going to talk about. Who have we got?
Same.
Any wrestlers? Have we got two great minds think alike? So have we got any wrestlers that we're going to throw out there? Or are we going to do a social media special?
I think we'll have to, we'll pick three again and see who's going to be the winner. I don't know. We'll talk. We'll have a chat. See what.
Any suggestions? Any suggestions?
Yeah. Good point. If anyone wants a particular wrestler they want us to talk about,
obviously not Virgil or someone like Dwayne Gill, because the main event stuff like guys. You know what I mean? So
45 minutes dedicated to Lanny Poffo.
Brilliant. Bring it on. How about all one nails card that we've got?
Just like the 92 Merlin sticker set. How many times nails appeared in it? It's just crazy.
Yeah. or we could go like dodgy wrestling stickers where you get like the bottom of like some wrestlers' legs. Where you open that, there's nothing worse.
I think that's a bugbear. We'll cover this on another episode. On the sticker albums where it's like you have to get 4 stickers to complete someone, and one of the stickers is like half a shoe. What's the point? The point? Just get rid of it.
Yeah, like 1 of 6, and it's a shoe or a hip of Dr. Harvey Whippleman. Why? Come on, Merlin. You deserve better.
What's the point? Yeah. But yes, we'll, if there's any particular wrestlers you want us to cover, drop us a comment in the next couple of days before we put the next poll out, and we'll pop them into the poll. Any questions you have, fire them over. Like, share, subscribe, comment, get involved. We are very, very grateful how popular the first one's been, and we're more than happy to carry these on and go forward. So I think with that, unless there's anything more from yourself, Kev, I think we're done.
Not really. No. I think we've covered Legion of Doom. How many titles do they hold? I could not tell you. They're that good. Absolute legends of the business. So
huge
good.
Amount of
so good.
Huge amount.
Bit of respect. Rest in peace, Hawk. Rest in peace, Animal. Never forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And until next time, everybody, goodbye.
And that about wraps it up for another edition of the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast with myself, Jack, and my good friend, Kev. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube, and keep an eye out for the next upcoming episodes. And now a quick word from our sponsor, Wrestling Cards Worldwide.
Hi, I'm Michael, and I run Wrestling Cards Worldwide, and I'm proud to be associated with the Submit Wrestling Cards podcast. We've got thousands of cards and stickers from all different eras on the website, and if you check out the link on the podcast, they'll give you an exclusive discount code for the website.
Thank you very much, and until next time, bye.